Okay, so I'm going to the next slide. So, guys, think about the marketing industry. Okay, how can AI help the marketing industry? First is marketing analytics. Okay, so marketing analytics, by that we mean analysis. Analysis in, for example, this month I got a my sales have increased, okay, for something, maybe my course sales or maybe any product sales. So marketing team is mainly responsible to sale, right? So some product got this month this month I actually got my sales very high. Okay, let me try. So I got my sales are very high, for example. Okay, this month marketing team really did a very good job. So my sales increased. So how will my marketing team do that? How, what is there to analyze over here? For example, on m- January, okay, my sales increased, and my February, my sales decreased. So the analytics team will look at the data. Why did this happen? Why did this increase in January, decrease in February? Okay, this is a question. So I will give you a very simple example, guys, so that we know. Whenever we would see that in normally winter season, the sale for sweaters or jackets increases, right? And in summer vacation, summer season, these sales decrease. So this is a very simple analogy that fine intuition that okay, we know that this happens, but more on you might be in a situation where you don't know that okay, this particular thing can lead to increase my sales or maybe lead to decrease in my sales, right? So we won't be knowing this every time. We won't be knowing this every time, right? So so that is why we have an analytics team who will take care of the data, analyze the data, try to find out the reason why it increased, and if it is decreasing, why it is decreasing. So if it is increasing for some particular reason, then I will see that okay, for reason A, my sales got increased. What will I do? I will try to make things happen such that this reason is always there, right? So sometimes if it's natural, nature wise, then we won't be able to do that because summer season, winter season, it's not in our control. There is a there is not a marketing no, marketing team doesn't do it. Analytics team does it. So there is a part of marketing. So I'm just telling how we can improve marketing by this. So normally it's up to different company if they want to have a marketing team who's analyzing this. So if somebody wants to and also have this data science knowledge, they would that team can do this. Okay, because it's not only about analyzing data, which means manually. Okay, it's about different. We have different tools to do this. To do to do to do this. We have different tools to do this. So that we have to learn, and that can be done some by technical person who knows the technology, who knows how to use those tools. Fine. So this will reduce the time required to analyze the data. Okay, if marketing team is analyzing, it will take a very huge time. So it depends on the company to company what approach they are taking. So if it is a very big company, probably they will have a business analyst team who will think how to improve the marketing, how to improve this particular problem. So business analyst does this kind of work. They will suggest marketing that okay, uh, they will suggest marketing team that okay, do this, do that, based on our analysis we found these are the best things you can do to improve the sales. So yeah, do this. So okay, so normally we can do that using Python programming language. people who don't know what is Python, Python is a programming language. So when you want to communicate with the machine, you need to know a language, something which machine understands, and that language is called Python. Okay, so Python, when you learn this language, you are able to give some instructions to the machine that okay, do this, do that, this kind of instructions. So you have to learn coding for that. You have to learn how to write the syntax. So all this information you will require. So if you know this kind of language, which is Python and which we will be teaching in this course itself, then you will be able to interact with the machine, right? And if you are able to interact, then you will be able to give instructions to the machine. And if you give right instructions, what is the benefit over here? The problem which you are trying to solve, something like repetitive work or something, very easily machine can do it in very less time. That is the benefit, because the speed of the process is very fast in machines, because they don't have any limitations, because they have huge RAM, huge computational power, right? And it just needs electricity. That's the most basic. Then it's a personalized marketing. We understand, right? Company wise, which company, which product they are having. So accordingly, they will personalize their marketing. Okay, this month I have this particular product in lot of stock, and I want to sell them. So I want to do advertising or marketing of particular this product. So let me give a good reason why people should buy it. So this kind of thinking, this kind of analysis, and this kind of so also personalized marketing, we can think about this way. This is user one, this is user two. So user one is looking at products, something like furniture, and user two is looking like product, something like um, laptop or something. Okay, laptop, phone. So I know that okay, this user is not interested in buying something like laptop, PC. This user is interested into buying furnitures. So I would recommend this user more furnitures, right? So I won't be doing that to the user too, because that will not give me any benefit, because I won't be able to sell to my user too. I won't be able to sell furniture to my user two, because user two is not interested right now. So my chances of selling a product to user one, which is for selling furniture to user one, is much higher, right? My chances to sell furniture to user one is much higher than selling to user two. So if I am able to understand this to every user level, I can actually sell more, right, guys? So today I'm checking out few products on Amazon. I have in the back of my mind that I am trying to see something like this. And if I find something in my budget or something very useful related to what I'm looking at, then I will buy that. So probably, so chances are Amazon will try to see your pattern, and then it will recommend you products. We have seen, right, advertisements that would come and pop up everywhere. So that is personalized marketing. So they are understanding what is your choice, what are you looking right now, what are you trying to buy. So they will try to recommend you those products everywhere. So your chances of buying that particular product increases. Is this clear, guys? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Digital marketing using AI. Okay. And context ever aware marketing. This is the same thing, just trying to understand the context. Okay. So right now, for example, somebody is trying to um somebody is trying to buy tea. Okay, somebody is trying to buy tea. So probably if they're buying tea, they probably want to buy biscuits. They're probably trying to buy biscuits. Okay, so this is context aware. If somebody is buying something, yeah, digital marketing we can use. It's mainly in the marketing industry only. Okay, so how we can use AI in marketing industry? So we have to know how and where, which industry we can improve it. So if I want to buy tea, probably I want to buy biscuits. So they know this, that okay, if this person is buying tea, according to the past buying patterns, we have seen they're also buying biscuits. So we'll also recommend biscuits. So this is again marketing strategy. Yeah, suggestions. Correct. So marketing is clear, guys. Can I move on? Fine. Okay, so I'm moving on. Sales, again, the marketing is somehow interconnected with the sales only. But think about it. Selling is so repetitive work, no, guys? Because you have to pitch the same thing. Because if you see a salesman, they have few lines already in their mind. Okay, these are the few things. These are the few people, few customers. I have to pitch them. I have to tell the same thing to them, and I will know. Yes, bread and butter, correct. So I have to pitch this group of customer. Okay, I will start. Okay, how will I below 20 age? I will pitch them my product in this particular way. At the age of 20 to 30, I will pitch my product in this particular way. So it's not very difficult task because it's a pitching task. They are trained. I know it's not easy to sell, but yet the kind of work is repetitive, right? So what if we are trying to uh, automate this? How we can do this? Okay, so let me give you an example. So for example, we are trying to predict. Let's see one example. Just give me a second. Yeah, maybe I'm trying to sell credit cards. Okay, so what will I see? What are my what should I look at? This is first point, lead scoring. Okay, predictive sales, which means which customer has the higher chance to buy my product. Okay, so below the age of 20, probably, or maybe there can be some patterns, right? Men have higher chances to buy to get a credit card, so we can target this kind of people. Yeah, exactly, who has a car or who have good income. So these parameters they can actually collect you know, for every user. If they have this data and they are using a AI model and they have seen previous patterns and they have found these features, if somebody is having, then probably they are more likely to buy credit cards. So they have a very big database of different people, different user. So you have seen, guys, in lucky draw, you get a form. Okay, sometimes in malls you would see, you will go to the malls and they would ask you to, they will give you a form, tell you to fill all the information, and they are overall giving you a, yes, correct. So they are overall giving, yeah, few questions they give you, and they would ask you to fill them, and they will do lucky draw. So they are collecting your information that way. So that is how, you get a very big database of different users. So we don't understand. We think we are doing it for free, but actually it's giving them a lot of money. Actually, if you think about it, data is like data is money. When we talk about AI, you can sell data. You can do a lot of things with the data because you can create AI models, and AI models are very useful. But again, it's dependent on data. So if you have data, you have everything. Fine. So few points. Exactly. 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 Okay. So based on these features, I can actually predict who I should sell my credit card. Because if I have 100 people overall, if I'm normally able to sell two people, so if I use this lead scoring for predictive sales, probably out of 100 people, I will be able to sell 10. I will be able to sell 10, which is also very good because actually I'm increasing my sales, right? So this is my first point. This is how I can improve my sales. Second point is retail sale bot. Bot, whenever you hear about a bot, the first thing should come in your mind is a chatbot. Okay. So chatbot who is, so whenever we don't have this information, okay. For example, we don't have this information. So there is a chatbot which is actually in pros we have created a chatbot which can interact with the user, get this information from the user, and so we can, so it also sometimes, you would see that different insurance people, which insurance should you probably buy. So a chatbot is created to First, it will ask you some information and it will recommend you the best insurance policy that you should be having, which will give you tax benefit or which can even cover a lot for your family. Can be, yeah. So this kind of car, exactly. The different companies. So these guys can have this chatbot also. Okay, yeah. So we will see chatbots are created in multiple places. The initial chat is done by a chatbot. The initial chat is done by the chatbot, and fine, we understood the yeah, the customer is showing interest. Probably I should allocate a human resource to this particular customer. So based on the interaction they had with the chatbot, we are predicting this and we are targeting them as customers. And this is again helping us to sell our products even more. So this is it. Let's move to the next part. Customer service. So we have seen different, we all have ordered food from Zomato, right? Did you ever try? If you have any complaints, you would always see that. So it's a different platform. It's not only about Zomato or Swiggy or something. You could raise a ticket there, right? Remember? So you have to write something, what issue you faced, and you raise a ticket. So, yes, yeah. So when you give, you have to raise the ticket and you have to write what is your issue. So they actually understand. So that is ticketing. So they use the information which you give while ticketing to understand what your problem is, and accordingly they will allocate you associate who can help you with the problems to solve your problem. That is particular ticketing. Voice authentication, sometimes in your mobile you would see that in even if you yeah, even if you okay, okay, fine. So even if you ask Alexa, if you have to teach Alexa that who you are, your voice. So if you say Alexa, who I am, and you have done the entire process, like it will ask you to follow a few steps before that, but then once you're done, you can just ask Alexa, tell me who I am. So it would actually tell your name. So it recognizes your voice. So in that way, it is able to authenticate your voice. So here you're authenticating voice, right? They're able to recognize, okay, this voice is for a particular person, which is me. Okay. Then called intent history discovery. Somebody is giving me a call. Okay, you have heard this thing is rule based, but sometimes, like I told you, when we raise tickets, we write something. So before they allocate an associate to us, they understand the intent, which means intention. Why is this person trying to connect to us, connect to the customer care? So after you know the intention, then they will be able to probably meet your requirements so that they are able to solve your problem. And then chatbots I've just explained, right? Fine. In financial fintech technology, so we will see the fintech is like, technology where, so we would just say it's a technology. It's very uh, data science domain kind of. So fraud detection. Here we would see that we can create models. Correct. Tech for FS sectors. Exactly. So it checks the frequency and authenticates you. Correct. So it's actually make a spectrum. So we will come to that later. Fraud detection. Fraud detection, they actually have a model which is looking at data and trying to figure out whether this is a red flag, whether this is a fraud or this is a not fraud, whether this transaction is somebody, there's some, maybe a user who never withdraws more than 10,000 any time at a one go suddenly withdraw 2 lakhs. I don't know if that's possible, but somehow that able person is able to manage to do that. Okay, somehow that person is able to manage, like managing to do that. So that's a red flag. So there would be an alert raised, and then they will try to detect whether it's a fraud or not a fraud. Okay, so insurance, which insurance policies should I recommend so that the user have higher chances to buy them? Again, recommendation system. different recommendation systems which can be useful in our different industries. Then credit scoring, yeah, claim investigation, correct. This is a very good um, in problem, okay, use case. So claim investigation, like, so whether that's like, should I accept the claim or should I not accept the claim in case of insurance? So yeah, this problem. Then credit lending or scoring. So how much score should I be giving? Okay, okay. Yeah, that's a good point. Thank you for mentioning. We also have data gathering. So you have to remember, guys, that this is a data science domain and we won't be able to do anything over here if we don't have data. So we have to gather data. That is the must. And what is regulatory compliance? It is whenever you have to conform to a rule, it's like a policy, how much it is good for different, how much you should be applying, how it can be benefiting, how it can benefit to multiple people. So that is again our regulatory compliance. Okay, guys. Okay, so let's move on. Should we move on? There is any doubt? Healthcare, very the healthcare have the highest chances to actually flourish in the coming times, okay, because of the increased rate of my mental health. A lot of people are facing different mental health, so we all know these things, but this is the somehow everybody is targeting to get into this industry because chances are very higher that healthcare would be mostly used. Yeah, again, correct. So we can also predict the waves or how will the numbers increase or decrease. So we have enough data for a year which we have collected from the last year or different states we have seen a pattern. So using that, comparing that, we can analyze which is the particular, like what can be the coming, yeah, vaccines also, right. So patient data analytics. So which patient, okay, can have probability, like there are few disease, now which patient have the higher chances to have this particular disease. So according to analyzing the history of the patient or genetic history, we are analyzing that okay, this patient have chances that these are the disease which can probably happen to them. Okay, so these are interconnected, lot of data is there to make this happen. Personalized medication or care. So if this is something like okay, these are the disease which you probably can happen, so yeah, please follow the steps, do this kind of exercise, have this kind of medications. Accuracy to age, I'm not able to follow. Disease according to age, okay. um yeah, age can be also one parameter, okay, so which we can use in order to, yeah, till what age you get some. It's not it's not that accurate, which where it can tell you okay, this particular age you will get this, it's not that accurate, but it would always tell you okay, this is the disease and you have 90% chance that you will get this disease, because based on your past histories or maybe by your smoking um, history or your genetic history, because if parents have this or your grandparents have this, probably you will also have this. So this kind of information they would not tell you at this age this will happen, that is not possible, at least till now. But they can give you a probability score that okay, fine, this is something which we think there are chances that can happen, so please take care of yourself, take this medications, do this exercise, drink water properly. So this kind of suggestions. Then real time prioritization. So if we are able to actually do this, if we are actually able to prioritize, because um, before it's late, yeah, before it's very late, mm, regular checkups, yeah. So that is what, if a person, if it's not as expensive as now, like we have to whenever we want to check up or something, it's very expensive, but probably, you are giving your symptoms and the AI system is good enough to understand that what probably you might be what probably can come in your future. So it is predicting that from initially it is trying to predict that and prioritizing, okay, these are your priorities, you should be, so you can decide this after this after this. So that is again a use case which you can do using healthcare. Then pregnancy management, okay, data every time, not every time you will get data. You can get data from different sources like Kaggle, or different educational platforms also give them data. But when you go to start working in a company, then every company is solving a very unique business, right? So we are not they're not solving very, that is how they're gonna earn money, right? So they are gonna solve very unique. So you would get data, sometimes you have to buy them, sometimes you have to make them, so it's on the problem you're trying to solve. Operations. So what initially at the beginning of the slide I told you, that a robot is walking, picking the glass of water, bringing it back. That is how to do that. AI is responsible. AI is actually telling the bot to walk straight, again walk backwards, straight. This is the glass of water which you have to pick. AI is informing these informations. Okay, so what this is AI doing. What is my A robot is a hardware. It has hands, it has legs like humans, right? Hardware, sorry. So it is moving. All the verb is doing is done by the robot, moving, picking the glass, moving. So all hardware related things. Yeah, correct. Exactly. It collects data from sensors, and some analysis is done on those data, and final predictions we get. Okay, if I don't have any, if I have wall on my left side, if I have wall on my right side, I probably have to walk straight. I can see, I have image data, I know where to go. Okay, so these kind of things, the movement is done by the hardware, but how to move, that is done by the AI, right? Fine. So process mining, we have different processes. Like for example, there are some events that we have scheduled. So it is very difficult or very repetitive work again for a human to see the entire process. So some process have happened and we have done the process. Now some human want to check the entire process, look at the logs. What if we are monitoring the logs using AI? So anywhere there is a red alert, anywhere there is some chaos, we can just we will so that person human can actually look at this particular point. Rest that person can just ignore. They don't have to look anywhere which does not have any problem. So AI can help you to tell whether you have any problem or not. So if you have a problem, they will tell you where you have a problem. Okay, so these are the potentials. Okay, so predictive maintenance, when there are some hardware which can probably you know every so there are, again you would get a new terminology which is called IoT. Using IoT, you will actually understand when this machine will require servicing. Okay, so predictive, again you're predicting when you might require maintenance for this particular product. This is prediction. Internet of Things, correct. So that of Things are not it's different than AI, so it's not something that we have to take care of. But using IoT, that there is also some technology like IoT is involved. But now based on that data which I am getting using IoT, I am predicting whether I need maintenance or I do not need maintenance. Okay. Then cashierless checkout, which means cashless. So we see phone pay. So many checkouts we see, right, guys? So these business automation, right? It is Internet of Things. The full form is Internet of Things. It's a different software, different topic altogether. It is also very trendy one. That's why I took a name of it. Yes. So different cashless. So there also we are using AI. And then invoicing. Invoicing is we see right invoices. We see invoices. So where to fill the name, where to fill the signature, where to fill your details, bank account details. So that can also be done automatically. That can also be done automatically, right? Okay, so cashless checkout, I'm just telling different, so cashless, how you can be, how can you do transactions? So if that transaction is fraud or not a fraud, if the UPI is UPI you have given, so those kind of security things are coming in. So when you're doing cashless checkouts using your different UPI, like phone pay or some different, okay, fine. Then social media, knowledge management, we can think about post, which post we are recommending in social media. Facebook we have seen, right? Post, Instagram. They're also using image. So image recognition. So not you would did you see Google Photos? There is one very good feature in Google Photos for a particular person. Yeah, you can if you have your images in your drive, it will automatically find all this is for example person A, person B, person C. So you will get folders where you will only get the images of person A. You will get a folder where all the images are of person B. So this will include with date and time also, location also. If you search using location, you will get all the pictures in that location. Okay, so that is image recognition. Secure communication we saw in Face WhatsApp, right? It's encrypted from this this to that. We see that assistance we know danger accounts assistance similarly digital assistance danger accounts. So if somebody is something is happening which is considered as a red flag, so it's very difficult for any human to keep an eye. So instead there are some AI models which are keeping eye, and whenever there is some red flag we can raise a alert, we can raise a alert, and then we can get a human intervention. Fake accounts, right? People are using fake accounts. They're sending, you know, they're sending very suspicious messages to different people. So that kind of that becomes a danger then, right?